remember now those childhood days gone by. You woke up with the morning sun. It was warm and alive and fun. I'm a roll, don't turn around, I'm a
Hello friends, fans and enemies, welcome to another Zane-Destiny video. And well, what can I say, the time has come and so have I. I have won my first locals out of 3 games, so 6 matches. I won technically all 6. Unfortunately, the last match of the opponent, the second round went to time, so officially, according to BCC, I won 5 and drew 1. But we don't care about BCC, we're just playing for fun, and to me, I won all 6 matches. So, very happy with that. Let's go straight into the deck profile. It's practically the same Musketeer deck as last week with a few alterations. So, going straight into the Digitamas, we stuck with the 4 Demi-Meramon and the 1 Sunamon. When deletion, draw 1, trash 1, and Sunamon, whenever you discard from your hand from an effect, you get to draw 1. So very consistent all around. I'm happy with these ratios. Sunamon, I only saw him once when I didn't want him, but Demi-Meramon did me a solid. Moving right along, going straight to the rookies. Only, again, slight alterations this one. So we played the 3 Labramon. On play, draw 1 and trash 1. Getting off the Sunamon effect. And didn't see much of him this time. The Soundbirdmon, cut him down to 3. So when attacking, you discard 1 option card to gain 1 memory. Only really saw him 1 game, didn't consistently see him, which was very surprising. But I didn't exactly miss him. So that's good. Next, playing the 2 Impmon. I believe I cut this down from last week, I can't remember. But on deletion, trash the top 3 cards. He also comes into play for a Warp Digital Evolution into Beelzemon. And I kept this the same. I stuck with the BT6 of 4 BT6 Impmon. Let me just get that into the light. There we go. So this guy's effect is, on play, you can trash 1 card in your hand to return a Great Demon Lord or a Musketeer card into your hand. I use this card's, I believe actually Labramon and this guy to get the Skull Greymon effect, which didn't come serious into play, but it made some opponents concerned. And last but not least, 2 Gundramon. He stops all memory gaining apart from Tamers. This only really affected 1 game where the person wasn't able to get to what they wanted because of the Gundramon. So I was happy with all these ratios. I was able to do what I needed when I needed, and I didn't miss the cuts that I did make. So extremely happy with what I played here. So those are the level 3s. Oop, dropped me Gazi. Now let's go straight to the level 4s or the champions. So I played the 2 Vilemon. I honestly can't remember what I played last week, but this guy's the purple blocker, so if I needed a Digivolve, he was out. And I did increase the Mechanorimon to 2. Very, 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 very lovely card. I love this card so much. If you don't know, he is a blocker. He can't attack, but every time he destroys an opponent's monster, he unsuspends himself. So if you're against Rookie Rush, this guy's golden. Not only that, he's 6k, and a majority of cheap Digivolution blockers, well, they're not going to attack with blocker anyway, but, you know, he's a decent number. Plus, all the 5k removal Digimon can't really get rid of him that easily. Very happy with this guy. And, of course, we're playing the 4 Deputymon. So this guy, on play, reveal the top 4 cards, add a 3 Musketeer and or an option card of 7 to your hand and trash the rest, and he can Warp Digivolve to a 3 Musketeer card for an evolution cost of 6. Didn't require him that much, but when I did play him, it was clutch. I actually started thinking a lot more hard playing and to use this effect, because I can deck out quite easily in this, unfortunately. But I managed to work him out. But let's just say I learned how to play a deck properly. I did good. So very small champion lineup, only 8, but you don't need to worry about too much about champions. Onto our level 5s, I did stick with the Skull Greymon Rebellion. Funny enough, whenever I get these guys, they always seem to play together. It's quite strange. So I did Digivolve into Rebellion, use a discard effect for Skull Greymon. So not only did Rebellion have block and retaliation for a turn, Skull Greymon went underneath a Gazimon if the opponent decided to do some sort of shenanigan with it. But also if I wanted to sacrifice a Gazimon, it had retaliation. Also, the Rebellion effect lasts for the turn. So even if you Digivolve from him, which I did into a Bellstarmon. Yeah, I know it's quite strange Digivolving into a Bellstarmon without hard playing it. She had the retaliation effect. So if I wanted to, I could have attacked with her, or the opponent could have, she was defended for a turn. These guys are kind of still clutch. I mean, I mainly have them if I needed an emergency draw card for Digivolution. A lot of these cards are high cost and it will leave the opponent with a lot of memory. Whereas these guys, I can Digivolve for about 3, use their effects to draw a card, dig deep. So nice little, in my opinion, nice little tech. So I'll be keeping them as they are. We're going pretty quickly on this one, I know, but you kind of seen this deck profile before. Played the one Beelzemon. I managed to get his effects off for once. Instead of him being trashed or it was no target, I managed to get its effect on a couple of times against a Hexablaumon, a blue deck. They were playing Hexablaumon quite a bit. And yeah, very happy with this Beelzemon. It's nice to run him in his alternate art form. I'm always going to have a special place in my heart because he was the first card I pulled from Starter Deck Booster Pack. Yeah, I can't get better than that. Next, I played the 3 Gundramon. Fortunately, there was no hard play in this guy at all. There was a few times where I thought I should, but then I thought no. And there was a few times where I felt I couldn't do anything. So the last resort, Digivolve into Gundramon, which I did do from Rebellion, actually, to tell the truth. And lo and behold, I got onto the option cards I needed, which frustrated a couple of people. Which, yeah, always good for me. And of course, I ran the 3 Bellstarmon. Bellstarmon's the top bay. I didn't play her for free, unfortunately, today. The lowest I got her down to a 3 cost, but that was more than enough. I understood the fact of if once I play her, I need to get rid of her as soon as, or do something with her to like Digivolve into a level 7 or find a way to remove her into the trash. Because if I have in the trash, I've got ways to add her back to my hand with the Impmon or the Map or whatever cards. Once she's on the field and she's attacked, well, when I try to attack with her, I want her destroyed. That way I can replay effects, replay option cards. There was a couple of times where she actually survived security checks, which never happens. Never happens with me, especially with 11k body. But lo and behold. But in saying that, it was counteracted with a few of the level 7s that I run. So let's go into those now. Now I did up the number of Millenniumon. This is our first level 7. This guy was very useful, so the Hexablow deck I was playing against, if my option cards wasn't removing him, Millenniumon was. I also played against the Black Craniumon / Alphamon deck again. Millenniumon did his job, but to tell the truth, the person didn't get a chance to get Craniumon out in time, which was helpful to me. Also against the yellow deck, he was useful because the yellow player I was playing against obviously was playing Wyvern's Breath. This guy was Digivolving from Beelstarmon, so I was happily swinging to security because I knew if he got deleted, he'll come back the next turn, or come back straight away. So, Millenniumon, I am happy with you, but I'm also happy in a different way, which I will show later, but I'm glad I not these two, because it did me some favours. Kept the one Oniwan Zvorts. I don't think I used him at all. He came up with security once, nothing else, but I won't cut him because there's going to be a time where I'm actually going to need him. The thing is, level 5 wives, I've not got many targets. The only thing I will use this for is getting back blockers like Mechanorimon or Vilemon, or even just a Gazimon just for memory joking. So he's not used to get level 5s back, but he would be used to get a Beelstarmon effect back, because his on attacking is to return a level 6 to destroy or return an opponent's unsuspended monster, which means Digimon, sorry, which means I could play that same Beelstarmon again. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's good to get her off the field again to get her back into your hand. So that's my thing with that. And I did play the one defeat. Never, ever, ever, ever saw this guy in security. I'm starting to think whether to get rid of him. But against the Hexablow, I did so much things to that poor Hexablow player. I managed to get rid of the Tamer, which destroyed their memory gaining. So, and I did use him against a Lord Nightmon. So that was a yellow deck I played against a Lord Nightmon, which was actually kind of difficult to play against, to tell the truth. The more bodies that were still getting down, the annoying part was I wasn't getting to Hjovaldsvarma. The card wasn't appearing. I think it was at the bottom of my deck, so it was quite frustrating. But because of his on deletion effect, so I managed to digivolve from another Beelstarmon, or it might have been a Gundramon. It was a Gundramon. Got rid of the Tamer. I then crashed into their suspended Lord Nightmon, which at the time had 13k, which deleted Omnimon's Vault. And then I used its on deletion effect to delete another Digimon, which I believe, I don't think it was a Mastermon. It might have just been a Nightmon. I'm not too sure now. It was something else. I got rid of 2 bodies by crashing it into a Lord Nightmon, which his on deletion effect. So he was frustrating. I'm not seeing him in security, but I'm playing him in different ways. He's a different kind of removal. He's something that I can swing to security, just like Millenniumon, swing to security without a care in the world, but something else happens when they're deleted. So even though it's frustrating, like nothing's going exactly to plan, I think this ratio, I've kind of got an answer to nearly everything. Like Onimon's Vault, big power. He gets bodies on the field, mostly blockers. That's it. That's all he does. And of course, he'll help me get my Beelstarmon in my hand to do more plays if I am able to. Millenniumon, he's a different kind of removal. He is solely used for decks where they're not affected by effects, aka Craniumon, or if I don't have the right option card in my hand. So I can just digivolve from Gundramon or Beelstarmon into Millenniumon, does its job. Same thing with defeat. If I get him security, that would be nice, but that's never ever going to happen. But also with his attacking, he's quite decent enough attack, but it's not too high where he won't be. It's not unlikely for him to delete it. He is nice to be deleted because he can get rid of any Digimon regardless of position. So this ratio, I'm pleased with. I don't think I would increase or decrease anything. There's kind of an answers for everything, and I saw them pretty consistently. Yes, there's a couple of times I milled the Zvort, but I didn't exactly miss it because I was in a good place. Right, let's hammer into these option cards. It's quite a few. So obviously I played Nailbone. I cut it down to 1. Didn't miss it all that much, even though I managed to play it more times today than I did last week. And I had 2 copies last week. Kind of strange. Played it to Trump Sword. This card was basically my secondary fly bullet. I was careful to using Beelstarmon's effect to add a card to hand. I was more engaged of using this one over Fly Bullet because Fly Bullet's got a bit more versatility. So if I saw that the opponent had an unsuspended Digimon, I would opt to use Trump Sword more than often, which you should really do, to tell the truth. This card, annoying as hell, but I don't want to play more than 2. Against the yellow deck, if I saw this card sooner, it would have ended turns ago, and I mean turns ago, where I'd officially would have won 6, well, all 3 games. I'm saying 6 because it was best of 3, and it was 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 all the way. Officially, it's 5 wins and 1 draw, but I'm calling that 6 wins, okay? So I still won all 3 matches. So hang on, I'm going to say this again. I probably said this before. When I say a match, that's a game against 1 person out of 3. When I say game, That's the individual games in a match. So it's best out of 3. I played 6 games, and I technically won all 6. But on record, I've won 5 games and I drew 1. Whatever. I'm not salty. I'm not salty at all. I am not salty. But god damn it, Gavolt Shawarma, if you just came into my hand earlier, it would have been officially all 6 games. Oh well. And Happy Bullet Showering. Love this card. It's basically, if your opponent only has 1 Digimon, it's exactly the same as Trump Sword or the 4 Fly Bullet. Yes, I upped the number of Fly Bullets to 4 because I'm that guy. All these combinations, insane, absolutely insane. And I learned from last week about Gewaltschwarmer. I learned that yes, it will destroy my Makinori or my other blockers, but if it will clear your opponent's board, it's worth it. So I'd say I've gotten used to the mindset that I need to with this deck, which I'm happy about. So yeah, that's my choices for the option cards. And like I said, I didn't manage to play any BL for free this time, but I was still playing enough to reduce the cost down to only I reduced it by 9 at one point, which was nice. And for the Tamers, I played the one Matt, used him to get BL back a couple of times. Definitely against the yellow player, because at this point, all my BL were either in the trash or just not appearing. So using this to get one back to play another option card, which it basically devastated the opponent's board. And then I played 3 Izzy and Joe. This card is broken. You know, just if your opponent has 2 or more, people were getting frustrated with this card. Actually, I didn't use it second. I've never used the second effect. So let me go through it. If your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, gain 2 memory. I've got 3 of these. That's 6 memory. Just off that. The secondary effect is if your Black Digimon is destroyed, you can suspend it to draw 1. I kept forgetting about that ability and it didn't really care because I didn't need it. But people were getting frustrated with this card. They kept on picking up, looking at it, reading it, saying, is that right? Is that right? It's like, yeah. It just says if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, gain 2 memory. It is the easiest tamer to get memory off of. Memory fixing tamers are okay. I mean, I did have 2 of these and 1 mat out, so I was at least 7 memory on my turn. Funny enough, as an option card. Have another 2, that's 9 memory. This card is insane. But of course, some people were getting wind of that. There were only, I believe, the Craniumon, the black player, Black Deck player was playing around it. They were building tool stacks, but that was the back strategy. Funny enough, the yellow player was building tool or reluctant to pull from raising because they knew as soon as it went to my turn, I would get 7 memory. I can play a crazy amount of option cards if I wanted to. So I forced a yellow player, a Lord Nightmon player, to reduce the number of bodies on the board. That's silly. That's basically upset the strategy of Lord Nightmon, because Lord Nightmon, when he attacks, he wants to play more bodies, getting more DP reduction now. But yeah, and also the more of my monsters that were destroyed, it was actually benefiting me because I had methods of recovery, or it was reducing the cost of my Bielstarmon to play option cards for free. So insane. I love this deck. This is my favorite deck. I've adopted a certain mindset. It's taken some time. I mean, I started off with like a Lilithmon loot variant, but that's because I didn't have enough of Gundramon and Bielstarmon. But I felt like, I mean, it might not be all that different from other people's lists, but I kind of feel like I've made it more or less my own. Now, I will say, this deck isn't good against everything. It's definitely not. To be honest, I mainly made it to counter the Craniumon deck, because once Craniumon comes out, he is unaffected by effects. That includes option cards. DP removal does count, and he can be returned to hand, but a lot of this deck is about option cards, which is why these three boys came in. Now the issue was if they got milled, that's it. It was game over, which is why I had to increase the amount of level 7s I had, which I'm glad I did. But yeah, I am. I mean, it could be just because this is the first tournament I've ever actually won consistently, but I'm at a good place with this deck, and I'm really happy about that. So I promise myself I won't play this next week. I will be changing it up, but it's nice to have something consistent. Um, yeah, it's just nice just to win, win for once. I mean, I only play just for the fun of it, but it's my first win. I'm gonna gloat a little. Uh, Entry packs did get a, what was it, like pre-release packs. There was no booster packs, unfortunately. It's still out of stock, so we got a initial participation pre-release. The other card was a green card. I just gave it to someone else, but I kept the Ghostmon because even though I don't play Ghostmon, he's a purple card. I'm going to keep him. And I will show you. So when winning, you get an opportunity to pick two, I think, promos from a binder. There wasn't much on offer. To tell the truth, I won't. There's a lot of cards I wouldn't even play, but I did pick up these two. So I got the Alt Art Devimon just because it looks pretty. Which, yeah, it does look really pretty. Never going to play it, but maybe there'll be a deck sometime in the future that I will. Then again, I could do the Myotismon deck from EX01. Who knows? And I picked up the Alt Art Millenniumon. I could have picked up two Alt Art Millennium ones, but I just wanted to buy. I wanted to split it. So I may even decide to remove one from here to replace it with this pretty one as well. Who knows? And additionally, for winning, I got five Great Legend backs. I don't remember what's actually inside these or whether it's actually even worth opening them. Because, well, you know what? It's not every day I'll win. I'm going to open this. I mean, since we haven't got a booster pack, we may as well just open something, haven't we? So yeah, this week, I mean, from last Sunday, last week was pretty tough. I will admit, it was pretty tough last Sunday. You probably weren't able to tell. I'm going to open these up and then flip these over. You probably weren't able to tell, but I was really down last Sunday. Not going to go too much into it, but at work I've been a bit out of it. Not been sleeping that great either. Oh my god, these packs. I might have to do this off camera, just in case I tear something and destroy it. Yeah, I haven't been that great with work either, so oh well, it's just one of those things. But in saying that, like midway through the week, a few interesting circumstances arose. Mainly career orientated, personal core orientated. I'm making some changes, so I do have a lot of collections in my personal collection. Not just card games and stuff like that, but stuff like I do collect Kamen Rider drivers and things like that of the sorts. Got a bunch of model kits and a bunch of Nerf guns actually that I plan to do a Nerf party on. And even like figurines and stuff like that and manga books. I'm planning to sell them. Well, not planning. I'm in the middle of doing some sales on eBay. I kind of want to go for driving lessons. I mean, I do have a CBT motorcycle license which I can use, but I'm starting to think doors and stuff will open a lot more opportunities if I did decide to drive. And yeah, that's my thought process on that. Career-wise, that's still up in the air, but there's a good chance something big might happen, and it's almost exciting and terrifying at the same time. So, yeah, like I said, beginning of last week, last Sunday was pretty tough. Nothing too tragic, not like a death in the family or anything like that, but it's kind of yeah. Yeah, so let's flip these over. So what should we do? Should we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, let's start in the middle. Hey, wait. Oh wait, this is BT6 stuff. Oh, okay, that's better because I thought this was all going to be BT4. Okay, I'll take a shiny Wizardmon. Oh, I'm a bit more pleased about this now. That's even better. That's even better. Oh, okay. I just moved them around and I asked for it. Hey, got a shiny Impmon. I don't play Ancient Troymon, but my mum will be happy with that. Okay. Savior Huckmon and Rattlestar. Yeah, I don't play these two again, and mum will have the Rattlestar. Oh, Rafflesia. Oh, some of it is BT4. Okay. Yeah. Raziomon. Raziomon? Yeah, and Tai. You know what? The sort of deck I want to do next week, I want to do something completely different, completely random, nothing meta-y. And this one, a Soundbird one, and Full Moon Blaster. I believe, is that a... No, it's not, no. I thought it might have been a All Force card, but yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's my news for today, well, for this week, guys. Won my first tournament. Officially 5 wins, 1 draw, but we only care about the actual wins. So I won 6 wins. Really happy about that. Uh, Perfect end to a different week. Okay. Thanks for joining me, guys. This is progression video 4 for purple. I've got one more after this. I might switch it up to some sort of Lilithmon variant. I've decided not to play Musketeers again because it feels bad. Well, I shouldn't feel bad because it's my first win, but some people are getting a little bit frustrated. Or do I want to frustrate them more and just go to security control? Hmm. Anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. Hope to see you. Well, not, I don't hope to see you soon. That would be weird. Uh, hope to you can join me in another video soon. And I wish you all the best week and smiles all around. Take care, all. Bye.